Hey everybody, Omar here, the Nice Shark Guy, and I am back with another fun-filled video for you. If today's video looks like deja vu, I do apologize for that, at least to the 10 people that saw last night's video. I did not realize that the knife was actually not in camera. So I do apologize for that, so I'm going to redo the video again. So here we go. So this is the LEXK SFL frame lock front flipper in carbon fiber inlay with a stone wash finish and a sheep's foot blade. So let's just take a good look at this piece. Kind of just give you guys a good quick look. It's very smooth. Then we're going to talk about the knife. This is a frame lock piece, as you can see. Carbon fiber inlay. Really nice thick titanium. So let's go ahead and get into this piece. I did a video a while back on a similar knife. I'm going to bring that one out right now. This one is actually the same knife in a smaller configuration. This is the Trevor LEXK front flipper. So you can see it's half the size of the LEXK knife right there. This one, of course, is a liner lock. Also very, very smooth. So let me go ahead and get that out of the way. I just wanted to show you that there is another version of the same knife, so you don't want to get confused between the two versions. So let's go ahead and do the specs real quick. So the blade length on this piece is 3.25 inches. The total length of the knife is 7.6 inches overall. The weight of the knife is 4 ounces. The knife sports LMAX steel in a stone wash finish with a sheep's foot blade. Not to be confused with the Wharncliffe style blade, which is completely straight across. So the main difference between the sheep's foot and the Wharncliffe style blade is that the sheep's foot can actually be used for drawing, for drawing cuts. Because of the blade is somewhat slightly curved, so you can do some drawing cuts with this, unlike the Wharncliffe style, where it's just completely straight across. So just thought I'd point that out. The knife does run on ceramic bearings for the really nice smooth action. I barely jerked that, and it closed so nicely. The knife also feels good in the hand. The ergos are absolutely fantastic. We have the relief cut on the outside of the knife. Most of the time you'll see that on the inside. Supposedly the purpose of having it on the outside of the knife is that it gives you like a direct force vector, which will allow the knife not to accidentally close while it's in your hand. But I mean, I don't really see that happening, even if they did not have this relief cut here, just because the titanium is so thick. One of the things I like about this knife is that we got a steel lock bar insert to prevent lock stick, because nobody likes that. I mean, you can see that the lock bar insert right there. Nobody likes to have lock stick. I mean, there have been, to have titanium rubbing up against titanium, that's going to cause some lock sticks. So what Trevor did there was he just added a steel insert to prevent that from happening, and makes it an easier to close. You'll never have to worry about that lock stick. Because I've had knives where, you go to close it and it's like, I can't close it because this thing is stuck, and you can't pull pull the frame lock out to close the blade, but with the steel bar insert, it's not a problem. Lock bar insert is not a problem. So the knife has a blue pivot ring, kind of hard to see in this light. It also has a matching blue back spacer. I love the total open construction of the knife. That's always a plus, I think, open construction. It means that you have a chance to clean it out much easier than if it were closed. And that back spacer is the only thing that's keeping it from closing. So, I mean, there's no way you can close this knife. That's how thick the titanium is. Everything on the knife is super smooth all over. There's no rough edges anywhere on this piece. And the carbon fiber inlay is really very pretty. It's almost kind of got like this 3D effect in the light. You know what I mean? There you go. You got like that 3D deal going on in there. That I like. It's only one inlay. I mean, you know, it would have been nice if you could do something on the back, but, you know, frame locks are frame locks. I mean, it's up to the maker. Clyde Challenor does inlays on both sides of the knife, and if you've seen my Clyde Challenor Viper, you can check that on my channel. He's got inlays on this like part of the whole knife, which I thought was I don't know how we did that, because it's pretty difficult to have inlay on the frame lock side because you have such a limited space. Then you've got the pocket clip covering the inlay, but he made it work. And to the point where you can actually appreciate the art on the back of that thing. So, it takes a special skill. The blade again is LEXK steel. I do love the the contour to the blade on the top, the crowning. It's kind of unique. I've never seen it on a blade like this, where it's, you know, sort of squared off here, nice and thick, then it comes down to sort of like a thin edge type coming down. I mean, it's interesting, you know, to have that. I don't know if that was, I'm not sure if that actually serves a purpose as a tool. It might, but I don't know. I'm not really quite sure. Frame lock is very well done. Just absolutely beautiful. Love that little blue pivot ring around the pivot. So let's go ahead and get into some size comparisons of knives that you may know. First off, let's go ahead and put it up against the, how about the Spyderco Swiss Bowie? So the Spyderco Swiss Bowie is slightly larger. Let me move that up a little bit. Not by much, but it is slightly larger than the LEXK. Like I said, this is 3.25 inches. This is 3.3. So the blade length on this will be a little bit longer. How about the Benchmade Anthem, which is actually 3.5 inches. How about for some fun, the Sebenza 21, which is even smaller than the LEXK. This is 2.78 inches of blade length on the Sebenza 21. So, move the lighting up a little bit. Getting pretty bad lighting, man. It's just not cool. There you go. Now you can see a little bit better. How about the large and Cosi? So that knife's much bigger. It's like 3.6. Let's move this down a little bit. Make sure everything's still in camera so you can see that. Push this down a bit. And there you go. So, yeah, large and Cosi. Really big freaking knife. ZT-0900. How about that? There you go. Some of you guys may be familiar with this piece or not. It just happens to be one of the few production knives that I own now. Uh, 0562. There you go, even more familiar. We'll get the Spenza 21 out of the way. So as you guys can see so far, that the knife falls in as a medium-sized knife. And for the last knife to compare, and we're going to end the size comparisons, we're going to do the Kershaw limited edition bare knuckle. There you go. So it's a medium-sized knife. You know, if you're those of you that are not into big knives, you're going to be very, very happy with this piece because it's not that big. You can almost call it maybe like an office knife. It could be. I mean, it's not that gigantic in size. Really love the stonewash, acid stonewash on that. Can't seem to get the lighting. There you go. So you can see the acid wash on it. It's really kind of nice. Just gives it another sort of special touch. It also makes the knife an actual user piece. You don't have to worry about scratching the blade because it's got scratches all over it. So whatever scratch you make on this knife, it's just going to disappear into the background of that stonewash. The action is really something on this with the ceramic bearings. I could close it better, but I'm afraid I'm gonna like hit the camera or something. So, see if I could humor you. I mean, this thing feels good to flip. There you go. Yeah, this knife feels real good to flip. I barely even jerked that to close it in one shot like that. Ceramic bearings are a real nice touch because they don't have to be oiled. It doesn't mean you never have to oil them. It just means that it's okay if you don't oil them all that often. Because the reason we oil knives, especially if it's steel ball bearings, is that the ball bearings, if they're steel, they produce friction, which produces heat, and that's how you get really shoddy action. But with ceramic bearings, they stay nice and cool. And they don't produce any friction at all, and you're going to get the same action every time. So it is better action on ceramic ball bearings. Just keep giving you guys good looks on it. The knife comes with a pouch. Nothing special. Here's the pouch. It's nothing, there's some knife makers like to make their pouches really special. Trevor Berger apparently just puts it in a pouch, which is fine. I mean, the knife is the star of the show, not the pouch. But, again, it really is all about presentation in a lot of cases. Turn the light back on. There you go. It's all about presentation in some cases, and that nice extra touch just shows the buyer of the knife that the knife maker cares even more. So, but Trevor Berger would rather have all the attention put on his knife, and that's makes plenty of sense. You also get with the knife a certificate of authenticity, which is right here. You can see there's the, let me turn the light off so you guys can see that again. A little bit better. In there. Maybe not, but there's his signature right there. And it says March of 2021. Better lighting right there. He gives you what's on the knife: titanium carbon fiber, titanium collars, and the ceramic pivot, and it gives you the name of the steel is LMAX. And there's the name of the knife, LXK, and the signature down at the bottom. This says that he stands behind the piece that you are buying, the certificate of authenticity. They sign away their life on a knife. So now they make this knife also in a liner lock, which means you'll have more options for basically for bling. Like you can have more materials on it, like this LEXK, which is the smaller version. You got fat carbon fiber bolster, and then the carbon fiber on the bottom half of the knife on both sides, not one side but both sides, which is why a lot of people would prefer the liner lock version to the frame lock. Myself, I wanted a representation of his frame lock knife and his liner lock, so I kind of accomplished that with this. But yeah, I mean, this knife is obviously a much more prettier looking knife, whereas this piece is seen probably more as a straightforward tool, which is fine, because that's what I was looking to get anyway, was a frame lock. I didn't want anything too fancy for this piece, but I wanted some kind of material other than the titanium, so I chose the black carbon fiber. I thought was just a nice touch. I didn't want too much, but there it was. So there you have it, the LEXK SFL front flipper piece by Trevor Berger. Really, really fantastic knife. I'm going to have a fun time using this one. I mean, it just flips out like a dream. Love the size, I love the carbon fiber, I love the acid wash, I love the steel, I love everything on this knife. Table price for this piece, unfortunately, it's up there. I hate mentioning prices on these knives. It just makes me seem so, I don't know. Makes me feel sort of like a snob. But the table price on this piece, I believe was like $860 for this knife. But you're talking about all titanium. What you're getting is worth it. Believe me, it is worth the work. We're talking about a handmade knife made by hand and CNC machining, obviously. There is some CNC machining on this. The finishing work on it, the smoothing out, that's all done by hand. So the maker actually did touch the knife and actually did put it together. One of the things that's great about Trevor Berger is that on some knives you'll get like the name on the blade, or it's like on the knife somewhere. He doesn't like to have any writing on his knives. Zero writing on his knives. But his initials are on the knife, which makes it kind of fun to own a Trevor Berger, because the first thing most people do if they've ever owned a Trevor Berger, they try to find where his initials are, because they know he's not one of those guys that wants to write his name in his knife, on his knife anywhere. He kind of favors the customer. A customer wants a clean looking knife, but if you look closely, there are his initials right there, TBC, and that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get, like, his initials sprawled across the blade or right on top of the knife. You have to look for it somewhere. Other custom knife makers, they put it on the handle, they put it on the blade, they put it all over the place. Trevor Berger, that's how you know you got a Trevor Berger. You'll just see the hidden initials on the knife someplace. If I bring out my LEXK, I can't even remember where it is on this knife. I know it's on there somewhere. Yeah, it's all the way on the inside, right there. You can barely see it, but it's in there. Which I think is a nice touch. I mean, you can look at it like a gimmick, but I like that he does that. I mean, it just adds a little promotion for his knife. Find the initials of Trevor Berger somewhere. That's kind of fun. Again, Ergos are fantastic. I mean, this is really built and made to be used. All the knives you get, whether they're custom or not, they're all made to be used. But some knives kind of just seem to favor that, and this is one of those where they're telling you this is not an art knife. This is a knife you're going to freaking use. He's got the smoothness tuned in on this. Perfect. I mean, I just never... Because there are some of those knives where the smoothness is too much. You know, in other words, you open it and then you close the knife and the thing will just drop shut. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that, but if I see that the knife opens and closes like this, you know, then that's basically where it's tuned in perfect. So there you have it, the Trevor Berger SFL custom frame lock front flipper. Definitely check this one out, and also check out the LEXK if you're into smaller knives. Check both these guys out. They are great, great, great knives, both of them. So I hope this video was a little bit better than the one I put out, at least to those 10 people that saw it. I hope this video was a little bit better as far as being able to see the entire knife on camera. So again, I apologize for that. Anyway, this is Omar, the Knife Shark guy, signing off. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a great evening.